Hello everyone, welcome back, finally, to Let's Play WazHack. Now I know some of you are much more fans of Barony than WazHack and you've been enjoying watching me play that, but I don't want to cater to just one group of people. Some of you have made it very clear that you miss WazHack, and it's reached a point where I haven't played it in so long that I just kind of fancy playing it. So I thought I might as well record some while I'm at it. Now, it's tempting to just start a new game since we abandoned the poor Ursa the Brilliant somewhere in the middle of her adventure. But actually, let's just pick her up again, shall we? It's kind of like those times when you return to something like a Final Fantasy, a year after you last played it and you have no idea what was going on. So, let's have a look at what we've got. We've got some wands, forked wand which we haven't identified, wand of fire, wand of polymorph, probing, and teleportation. Pretty good suite of wands, in all honesty. Good selection of spells as well. Lightning, darkness, light. Okay, admittedly, darkness and light aren't that useful. 42% cone of cold isn't great, but we've got 100% haste, 100% cure sickness, and 100% lightning, of course, because we're a white witch. So we started off with lightning. I didn't mean to do that. We're slightly hungry, so we don't have much food, so I feel like that is probably going to be our main issue as we move along here. But it does appear that we're being chased by monsters, so let's deal with those first things first. Oh, that's a dead raven, actually. A dead raven levitating beside a ladder. I assume there's probably no meat over here, or we would have seen it already. There's some feathers, not bothered about those. We appeared to be walking this way, so let's continue. Oh, a bat. Let's lightning blast that. Okay. Should probably have a look at our inventory as well, see what we're carrying. Red eye shield, walking shoes, lots of gems, which we haven't identified. A lamp. Blessed lamp, I think, means it doesn't run out of oil, though I could be mistaken about that. Ring of strength, and a couple of unidentified rings, one of which is cursed. We have destroy armor, enchant weapon, scroll of identify. You know what? I'm tempted to use our scroll of identify to identify one of our rings. Although, it might actually be more advisable to use it on that other wand which we haven't identified. But right now, actually, we're fairly well equipped. As I said, food seems to be... Yeah, see, that selection of spells there is pretty good. So food actually seems to be our main problem. So I'm going to save the scroll of identify in case we come across something a bit more pressing to use it on later. Ignore the fountain. We all know what those water nymphs are like. At least those of us who've either played WazHack or watched these videos for a while know what they're like. I do not want to deal with that big door. I'm hoping, since I'm fairly lightly equipped, I'll just be able to creep past. I mean, the crystal armor is maybe an issue. That might be a bit heavy, but we're not wearing any shoes or anything, or any other garments that are particularly heavy, so hopefully we'll be able to just edge past. If not, I suppose I should make a plan first. If we can't get past, I think... Well, first we'll need to see what comes out, but from that door it's probably going to be something enormous, like a giant or a troll or something, I don't know. Are there even giants in this game? It's been that long. I think I'm thinking of trolls and bugbears. Anyway, something big is likely to come through there. So, I think first, before we do anything else, we should haste ourselves to give us a bit more reaction time if we do have to whip something out of the bag. And I think what we will whip out of the bag is probably either polymorph or teleportation, depending on what comes at us. Wand of fire would be useful, but it has no charges left. Of course, we could try out the forked wand, but we don't know whether it's cursed or not, so that's probably a bad plan. So let's try and creep past. Come on. Come on. Hasty creeping. I think we pulled it off. No, not quite. What the hell? That is exactly the kind of thing I did not want. Ah, and there's more than one of them. Okay. We only have 3 polymorph charges, but I think it's probably a good idea to try that here. Mummy isn't great. Ogre! That's what I was thinking of. A mummy isn't a great development. Let's try another polymorph and see what happens. I can't quite hit both of them from here. That's irritating. Okay, polymorphed it into bat. Oh my god, that's a lot of ogres. Okay, it's time to just bail. Let's teleport ourselves. Okay, I think we actually teleported upwards, which is kind of an issue, because they're presumably going to come back this way any time now, and we're going to have to find a way to deal with them. So, we have a couple of potions of healing, but that's not really enough to get us out of this. So, let's go enchant weapon on the weapon we're actually using, and another enchant weapon, and then we've got scrolls of teleportation as well, so they might be good. We've got Finger of Death. We haven't actually read that. We probably don't have time to read it before they descend upon us, but I'll have a try. It might be too tough for us. Oh shit. Okay, that's exactly what I didn't want. So, let's use teleportation to clear them out. Hopefully we might be able to pick these off one at a time. Weak from hunger is an issue, so we'd better scarf down everything we've got. Right. We're also a bit low on mana, so I might have to rest, although that will make us hungry. Okay, is that one guy? It does seem to be one guy. So, first up, 42% Cone of Cold isn't great. Cone of Cold would be fantastic, but I don't like the chances of successfully casting it. So, I think probably, what else can we throw at him? We could probably throw a gem, but we don't know what any of them are. So, I guess, yeah, it's probably going to be a matter of, I mean, we could try and polymorph him one more time. There's probably not a lot of benefit to holding on to one more polymorph charge. Okay, Orc is at least better. So let's blast him. He might actually finish us off here. Yeah. I was tempted to drink a healing potion there, but I thought we could take one more hit and we might take him down. Overconfidence. So often the source of failure in a roguelike. Let's see what we were carrying. Cursed -4 Orcish Shield. Well, that wouldn't have helped. The low boots wouldn't have been a great aid either. Portal Stone, if we'd known, could perhaps have been manipulated in a beneficial way. Firestone would have been very useful, as would Froststone, actually. Either of those could have been good. The problem was that I didn't know either of them were those things. Yeah, Power Stone. Power Stone could have worked as well. 18 charges, no less. Okay, apparently Blessed Oil Lamp doesn't have unlimited oil supplies. I thought it did, but I must be thinking of something else. Ring of Hunger, Ring of See Invisible, Healing, See Invisible. And our other wand was Magic Missile, I guess, could have been useful. But I don't feel too bad. I mean, I feel a bit bad. But we had a tough draw there, getting 3 Ogre Lords piling out of that door. There wasn't a lot we could have done with the stuff we had. So, let's just start over, shall we? Clean slate, fresh start and all that. What shall we choose? Let's just go really straightforward, really simple, and be Dexter Holland the Barbarian, or James the Brutal, as he's known. That seems like one of those things you get in sort of daft web comedies about LARPers and things. It's like, oh, I know my name's James, but everyone calls me James the Brutal. No, they don't. They don't call you James the Brutal. I bet no one calls him James the Brutal, except his mum. Okay. James the Brutal and his cheese. Right. Gem doesn't excite me all that much. Neither does our accuracy. We seem to be struggling a bit. Okay. I mean, look at the difficulty we're having just hitting rats. That is going to be a problem. Spellbook is probably not worth bothering with. I think it's actually impossible, or near enough impossible, to get the Barbarian to learn any spells at all. Even the Knight and the Valkyrie, which are pretty much the standard melee classes, can learn a spell or two, but I'm pretty confident that the Barbarian and the Vandal can't. Shield could work. I think we're using a two-handed sword, so we probably don't want to use a shield at the moment, but we have a large carrying capacity, so it doesn't hurt to take it with us, and you never know, we might go one-handed at some point. Like this spiked mace, for instance. If we get a chance to identify any of these weapons, it might be worth switching to spiked mace and shield rather than two-handed weapon, but we'll see. I didn't remember offhand, no pun intended, offhand, I didn't remember offhand whether the barbarian has any shield-related skills available to him, or whether it's kind of focused on two-handed weapons. But basically, at the moment, we're in a position where we can just plough through these early game enemies. The issue is going to come later when we will lack the versatility to do much. So I suppose the key here is going to be ensuring that we're powerful enough as we get into the later game. So it might be worth actually grinding a bit if we have a chance. Right, we only have 57 gold, which isn't enough to buy anything. So we'll just move on. Shoes are probably too small for us. I will, I think, try to get our dog to kill that blob for us, because it might be corrosive. Firestone! Wow, okay. Well, that was interesting. I thought for a moment we might not make it before the Firestone exploded, but we did, and now we know that red gem, although not identified, is indeed a Firestone. Let's sell these boots. We have 2 red gems. I guess that means both of them are Firestones? I don't know, maybe it's grouping them together because we haven't identified either of them, but at least one of them is a Firestone, if not both. So, we have quite a lot of food, that's a nice start. And I will sell the axe. Oh, we have a double-handed battle axe as well. Huh, I'll get rid of that. There we go, got some money. Maybe we can afford to buy some of his stuff now, 81 coins. Well, we could buy back the boots we just sold him. We could buy a potion, but we have no idea what any of them are. No, let's just walk away. Maybe we'll get a chance to revisit this later on. This is risky. I'm tempted to intentionally take on whatever legions of monsters come out of that door, just to try and grind for levels a bit, but it could very easily get us killed. You know what, let's try it. We're early enough in the game that it won't be too much of a blow if we have to restart. So let's try. Yes, investigate. Kobolds, not too bad. And now dog is helping out. Okay, so here are our skills. I suppose I could have just looked at them earlier. We do have a shield-related skill, so actually shield parry and then using that shield might be something that's worth doing. Mighty blows I'm not that bothered about. Weapon precision, more critical hits. Weapon knowledge, she sets the better weapon dual wielding. I don't like that level 1, but level 2, identify quality by using it, and level 3, appraise weapons like a dwarvish smith. Can both be pretty good. Oh, I just knocked my pop shield. Sorry if that made a clunking sort of sound. Okay, so I'm actually going to go with weapon knowledge, not because I want level 1, but because I think level 2 and level 3 could be useful. Of course, we will have to build up levels of other skills as well before we can get that high up. So I suspect next level will be either weapon precision or gastronomy, depending on how much food we find. At the moment, we're good for food. I wasn't expecting another level straight away, so let's go weapon precision. Since we're basically a pure combat class, we have no choice but to try and make ourselves as effective in combat as we possibly can, because that is the only advantage we have. Let's go level 2, weapon knowledge, so we can identify the quality of a weapon by using it. Unfortunately, we still risk wielding cursed weapons if we're going to do that, but at least it's some sort of use. Yeah, all this time I didn't know that button was there, that button in the middle that lets you select or unselect all the stuff. Learning new things about WazHack all the time. They're dropping lots of daggers. So I think it was actually worth opening this door because we're gaining lots of levels and we're taking virtually no damage. Do I want Fury? +2 to hit enemies when you're below quarter hit points. Yeah. Maybe. We need another level 1 talent before we can upgrade either of the others. Mighty Blows, bit of knockback. Not my favourite. Might be worth taking shield parry and then trying to go one-handed weapon shield. So let's do that. Anything else? Yeah, some more kobolds. There are a lot of you living in this little corridor. I mean, look at that. You can actually see the walls of the corridor. You're just hiding in a corridor, all of you. What were you even doing in there? And they dropped a load of weapons when we went rummaging in the corridor. So we've got more maces, a staff. I'll take the staff, in case it has some kind of useful magical effect. And I'll take the mace. Of course, what we really need is scrolls, so we can start at least trying to identify things. Curved sword. I think there's a reasonable chance that curved swords are actually something special, hence taking it. So, let's try out these scrolls. Scroll of Identify is exactly what I was looking for. Let's start with curved sword. Uncursed -1 saber. Not what I was looking for. Spiked mace. Uncursed Morning Star. Is that both of them or just one? Let's see. Okay, we've only identified one of them, so the other one might actually be something different. And we didn't get a chance to identify the shield, so that could be cursed. Let's try our other scroll. Nothing happens. So it's something that's not immediately applicable at this point. So, let's do that. Let's go Uncursed Morning Star and Small Wooden Shield and hope for the best. Hope the shield isn't cursed or anything. And hope that we're tolerably effective with this Morning Star. I mean, as long as the shield isn't cursed, then I guess we can at least switch back to the two-handed sword if we find this Morning Star setup is rubbish. Scroll of Enchant Weapon. Bad Scroll of Enchant Weapon because it was surrounded by dark cloud. So, I'm actually going to switch back to the Greatsword. Wow, that took a long time, and a kobold killed our dog. That was not what I intended. So, in the hope of reviving our dog, I'm going to try feeding potions to it, and hope for the best. Healing? No. Healing? No. One more. No. So I wasted my potions and my dog. This is not looking so good. Let's eat jackal meat and some kobold innards before they go rotten. I suppose we should probably eat my dog as well. Not something I like to say, but it's probably a wise play at this point. No, I didn't want to pick up a short sword. Is there no dog meat? There's no dog meat. My dog was not made of meat. Alright, well, get rid of the -1 Morning Star. I mean, I know it's uncursed, but I don't really care. No, we're nowhere near burdened at this point. Let's hang on to it for now. I did not want the short sword. And I can't rely on my dog to kill suspicious blobs anymore. So I'll have to do it myself. I think these ones confuse, maybe? Or nothing. And here's all the crap those beasties dropped. Another Scroll of Identify is definitely worth something. So let's have a quick read of that. So, usually I use my Scrolls of Identify on wands. So let's give that a go, shall we? Wand of Lightning. We only got to identify one item, but at least it was a good item. Wand of Lightning is a damn fine weapon. It said 8 charges, which isn't brilliant. But it's better than, 2 charges. Thanks for that. Poison explosion in my face, immediately on the other side of a door. It's like growing up with my brother. Okay, so I'm not going to bother with another level of shield parry at this point, since it doesn't look like we're in any imminent position to start using a shield with any seriousness. Let's take level 2 weapon precision. We can't take level 3 weapon knowledge until we've got a level 2 anyway. Let's try out some scrolls. Cursed Scroll of Remove Curse. And nothing. Well, we do have another Scroll of Remove Curse then. It could be another cursed one, which would be useless. But it does mean that if we find something we want to use which we know is cursed, we can probably uncurse it. Teleport. I don't really want to teleport at that point, but it's very useful to know that we have that option. Didn't even see that thing. Red gem, apparently. Is it another firestone? Is it a normal red gem? Only time will tell. And more scrolls. Another Scroll of Identify. Let's immediately use that. Blessed Scroll of Identify, so we should be able to identify multiple things. Wand of Death with 4 charges. That's actually really, really good. Let's identify the firestones. Worthless piece of glass. So did it just identify 1? Yeah. No, 3. Okay, so we've got 3 worthless pieces of glass, and the other one must be that firestone we saw earlier. So although it's not identified, we do, by process of elimination, know which one it is. Is there any meat here? No meat. Considering we have a fairly good food supply, we're actually not finding much in the way of new food. Kobold meat? Yeah, kobold meat. Excellent. You feel deathly sick. That's more severe than I was expecting. Wow. It might be best to sleep this off. Do we have an apple? We do have an apple. Excellent. Apples can cure even deathly sickness. Might as well take both of these things, since we have such good carrying capacity, and you never know, we might find an opportunity to sell them off. We could even head all the way back up to that other trader. Okay, full at last. That's been a while coming. You know what? I'm going to take this opportunity to lob some potions to try and ID them. Potion of fireproofing. It also appears to have frozen the Kobold Lord. That's an interesting side effect. Let's throw something pink at him. Potion of healing. And what about the black one? Probably ink. Or oil. No noticeable effect, so it probably really is either ink or oil. Okay, back to the stairs. If this kobold will let us pass. Let's try a scroll. Nothing. And eat a kobold? No? Fine, whatever. Actually, we don't need to eat. It's just kind of habit, I guess, to immediately try and eat things, because food tends to be so scarce. Ornamental cope. Ornamental copes can be pretty good. They can give you invisibility effects and things, but I wouldn't be surprised if the barbarian is too hefty to wear one. He's too large for most garments. I expect it's probably similar with the ornamental cope. Now, we already have pretty bad melee accuracy, so I'm not hugely optimistic about our ability to hit this cloud of gas. But let's try it. Hit the gas. Hit the gas. Yeah! Upgrade your greatsword skills. Greatswords plus. Come on. Wow, that went down surprisingly quickly. That was a weak wind. It's probably worth buying stuff from the baker if we can. Precisely because we're finding so little in the way of meat recently. So, we can buy not all of her food by any stretch of the imagination, but a fair amount of it. Yeah, let's do that. 5 loaves of one type or another. Because generally in WazHack, I don't spend much money on things like equipment. Sometimes consumables, scrolls and such if they're available, but mostly it seems like a better use of money to buy food. Let's read the readme. Create monster. At least it's only a kobold and not an ogre lord or something. With the way my luck's going today, I wouldn't have been surprised if it had been an ogre lord. Do I want to take on the tiny door? Taking on a tiny door served us well earlier, but we are far enough down. I mean, look at the way these kobold zombies are doing a number on us. If this door opens and it reveals a load of kobold zombies, then we're kind of in the crapper. So it might not be the best of ideas. I'll mull it over while I have a bit of a sleep. A poisoned sleep, of course. That's what I get for eating the raw internal organs of other creatures. Ah, Dwarf Lord. Oh, the door probably contains Dwarf Lords. Do I really want to deal with that? You can appraise weapons like a dwarvish smith. Or do I want another level of weapon precision? Yeah, critical hits with a two-handed weapon. Let's do that. It kind of means that our one level of shield parry is wasted, but you never know. We might switch to a more shieldy build later in the game, I guess. If we survive that long. Broad short sword. Don't know what that is, but it could be something magical. I'm always intrigued by weapons that are a bit unusual. If we open this door, what are our get out clauses? We've got Wand of Lightning, Wand of Death. I don't really want to waste Wand of Death if I can avoid it. Any healing potions? Not that we know of. Probably not worth risking it. If I knew I had healing potions, it might be worth taking on that door. Basically to grind the enemies within for levels. But if there are a load of dwarfs and dwarf lords and such, there's a good chance that we'll need healing. And we don't have... Well, we don't know that we have any healing potions, and we don't have any teleports. And Wand of Death is sufficiently rare and sufficiently powerful that I don't want to squander it on dwarf lords early in the game. So, hello. Don't mind me. I just teleported into your shop and then walked out without buying anything. I bet I'm your favourite customer. So, teleport trap. Need to avoid that in future. More meat? Why didn't I see that before? Giant bat meat? Not sufficiently giant for me to spot it lying on the floor, evidently. Potion? Murky potion. I really need to start IDing some of these potions. Ah, we do have a scroll of teleport. Still, without any known healing, I don't think it's a good idea to take on the small door. Create monster is not what I'm looking for, but it might actually be worth doing if we can grind the enemies that it spawns. It depends on how powerful they are, but there's no way of knowing without doing it. If they're kobolds, we're okay. Let's do it. This is something I haven't really done before, using scrolls of Create Monster to try and grind enemies, but I've heard it's a good approach. As it turned out, it didn't really do anything. Okay, so we're going to have to head this way now. Bit of money, not that interested. I mean, I guess I could go back to the baker again, but it's a bit of a walk. I don't want to deal with that spider hole. Spiders are nasty as shit. I want no part of it. What are you? Magic mapping. Well, I mean, the main benefit of magic mapping is knowing that it's not something better. You know, when we pick up a magic mapping scroll, now we will know that that's all it is. Okay, looks like we're going to have to deal with the spider hole, which is kind of a problem, potentially. I mean, we could read our scroll of teleportation, but there's no guarantee it would take us beyond the spider hole. So, we're going to have to charge through it and rely on the Wand of Lightning and, if necessary, the Wand of Death. Let's do it. There we go. I hate these bastards. Okay, Wand of Lightning it is. If there are two of you at the same time. Shitting hell. Okay, Wand of Lightning. Oh, it didn't hit both of them. That is bad. Okay, I'm going to have to actually use Wand of Death on this thing. Another spider? How many of you bastards are there? It's going to have to be another Wand of Death, because we're not going to survive long enough to have a long toe-to-toe struggle here. Wand of Death didn't kill a spider. Whatever kind of sorcerer built and enchanted that Wand of Death should be embarrassed. If your Wand of Death can't kill a spider, then your Wand of Death is verifiably weaker than a rolled-up newspaper. That's pretty poor adventuring equipment. Bah! Okay, well, I didn't feel great about that anyway. I'm never that comfortable with the strongly melee-centric runs, because I feel like we lack versatility of approach. But let's see what we had. -1 magic regeneration, 0 magic resistance. That could have been useful. Not in that situation, but eventually. Cursed splint mail, chainmail, small shield. 2 firestones. Lots of bread. So we did have some healing potions, but actually not very many, so it was probably a good choice not risking that small door. James the Brutal, as it turned out, was only brutally ineffective. Thanks for watching, as always, and rejoin me next time when we will do more games. Could be Barony, could be WazHack. I don't know in what order I'm going to upload these videos, but there will be more games coming soon. And more of both, sooner or later, for sure. So thanks for watching, and I will see you the next time. Bye for now.